What's happening, guys? Troy back again here to do another video for you. So this time I'm going to be doing a video talking about UFC 135. I'm going to be just talking about, just reviewing it, and also about Jon Jones and his attitude. Get into that in a bit. So really for this event I only got to see two fights. I was working, so I had to kind of catch it later after work, that kind of thing, and watch the replay. Just really going to talk about Koscheck and Matt Hughes, and then about Jones and Rampage. So let's start with, let's get Hughes and Koscheck out of the way first. So, should Matt Hughes retire? I personally don't think he should, but at the same time, I don't think he should be fighting top competition anymore. He shouldn't be fighting the top 5 guys in the welterweight division. He shouldn't fight GSP, BJ Penn, Koscheck, Fitch, any of the top guys. He should be fighting some like Diego Sanchez, these type of guys. And I know this was a special case because Diego got hurt, so Koscheck stepped in. So it all worked out okay, but really, he's just, his reflexes and everything just aren't there anymore. And Hughes should really be fighting maybe top 10 or top 20 guys, and and I think he'll do just fine if he was to fight top 20 guys, just not the upper echelon at this time. Just not right now. He's not at that level anymore. So it's not his fault. I know he trains really hard and everything like that. I got mad respect for Matt Hughes. He's one of the best fighters of all time. I put him at number 4, best all-time fighter in mixed martial arts history. Just that, he can keep fighting. He just shouldn't fight at the top echelon anymore. Josh Koscheck is probably going to be his whole career. He'll be right around, maybe 3rd to 5th in the welterweight division. He'll always be around there. He'll probably never be welterweight champion. He'll probably never be a UFC champion. He'll always probably just be right there, which really sucks for him if you think about it. I mean, geez, the guy's been fighting for all these years and he's never really been on top, not even once. He's been so close, but just not on top. They say that when it comes to the psychology of winning in sports, the worst medal to get is the silver. Reason why? Because the gold medal, of course, that's great to get that, but the silver, you're always pissed because you didn't get the gold. Bronze is good because you're happy you placed, but and so it's, in a way, it's almost better to be bronze than it is to be silver, just because you're just right there, but you just can't beat that one guy who's ahead of you, and it's always going to be that way. He was also saying some stuff. You guys know that Josh Koscheck, he plays the heel role pretty well, but I almost think that it's not really even an act. It's like, that's the way this dude is. This dude is just a freaking, just an asshole, man. Like, straight up, just a big time asshole. And stuff he's saying about Matt Hughes, he's like, no, I'm not honored to fight Matt Hughes. He should be honored to fight me. And it's like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Honored to fight you? Like, what? Like, you've never been a world champion. You're talking about one of the guys here, Matt Hughes, who's one of the best of all time. Like I said, I put him at number 4, best of all time. The guy's got like 50 wins, is the most wins in UFC history in the UFC. Dominant as hell until GSP came in. Beating everybody. Like, and you're saying he should be feeling honored to face. Get out of here, man. Like, it just goes to show why Josh Koscheck is the most hated fighter in all of mixed martial arts, because he says shit like that, and I almost think it's not an act either. I really think that he is like that, and not that I know the guy personally. I just have a hunch. I just kind of think that's the way he is. He's just a prick like that. Anyway, talking about pricks, let's move on to Jones versus Rampage. So, this really pissed me off. Jon Jones, okay, I liked him up until, he's got this attitude on him, this kind of thing. Yes, I predicted this a while ago. I said that Jones would probably beat Rampage by elbows, and then maybe a submission or something like that. You can go back and watch my prediction video for that if you don't believe me in my other channel. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Basically, the end of the 3rd round, okay, Jones shoots in on Rampage, and basically, he's, Jones is on his knees and he's going for a shot, and the buzzer rings. Okay, the bell rings for the end of the round. Rampage just stands, and Jones clearly, after he heard the buzzer, has his arms like this, and then puts his head under Rampage's crotch basically, and lifts him up and throws him over his back, and then walks off kind of like, like you're nothing to me kind of thing. And even, and you could tell just by looking at it. Afterwards, Jones is like, oh, well, sometimes it happens. Somebody calls for a fair catch in football, and he gets hit anyway. No. When you guys watch this on replay, watch it. Watch what he does. He knew the bell rang, and he could have stopped, and Rampage stopped. Rampage stopped and just stood, and he didn't expect to be dumped like that. You know, he dumped him after the bell. The referee really should have taken off a point for that. Not that it would have mattered, but still, you know, to teach him a lesson, be like, what the hell are you doing, man? You know, like, what a pompous prick. And that's another thing, too, I want to talk about, is that it's not an act. You know, some people say he puts on a show, he puts on this act, and he's fake. He's a pompous prick, man. And not that I know him personally, but you can tell, man. It's not an act. You can tell when someone's faking it and when they really believe that shit. You know, and it's a shame to see, because he's such a good fighter. To see him disrespecting guys like that, you know, who've been on top for so long. Yeah, you're young. Yeah, you're coming up. You know, all I got to say is that in 10 or 15 years, when Jon Jones is in his late 30s, and some young kid comes up and starts doing that to him, then he's going to understand, you know, how it feels for someone to disrespect you and treat you like crap like that. It's ridiculous, man. You know, dumping Rampage like that, that just really pissed me off. The crowd booed it and everything like that. And, you know, before his whole attitude, I actually like Jones, you know, probably better than Rampage, but just the way he talks and everything he does, it's like, Jesus, man, I know, like, we all know you're really good, have the potential of being one of the best, you know, fighters in history so far for MMA. But still, I mean, that doesn't give you the right to dump Rampage, a guy who's been on top, the most dominant light heavyweight we've had since frickin' like Tito Ortiz, you know. And some people bring up Chuck Liddell. I'll say again, in case you don't know, Chuck Liddell got beat by Rampage twice, not once, twice. When he was UFC champion, he went to Pride, lost to Rampage. Rampage was one of the most dominant light heavyweights we've ever had, aside from Vanderlei, aside from, you know, like, he's one of those guys. You know, to do that to a guy like that is just, to me, it's like total disrespect, total bullshit. I don't want to see, you know, I just don't want to see stuff like that anymore out of Jones, man. I hope he keeps fighting and he just loses that whole attitude thing that he's got towards, you know, like I'm better than you type of thing, like, you know, like waltzing away like that. You know, you watch it again if you don't know what I'm talking about. It's really annoying. Anyway, so Rampage just couldn't close the distance. When he did close the distance, Jones would just grab onto him, basically clinch with him, try to take him down, and just hold him, basically. Jones didn't want to throw hands with Rampage almost at all. He stayed on the outside, threw kicks, threw long jabs, and basically Rampage got tired. Even though Rampage says he was playing possum, he was getting tired. Okay, Jones is a skinny guy. He can go for a long time. He's probably got way better cardio than Rampage, and it kind of showed in the fight. What Rampage really should have done was, for some reason, he didn't let his hands go. He just should have attacked. The way he attacked Machida is what he should have done. Okay. And I know he says that, you know, if you attack too much, you get taken down by good wrestlers. And that's true, but it depends when you attack. Okay, if Jones is throwing kicks and stuff like that, the best time to attack is right after he kicks, go in, you know, attack after that. Or right before he kicks, or, you know, while Jones is ready to throw something, step in. And the other thing, too, is when Jones backed up, Rampage didn't chase him. That's what he needed to do. He needed to chase him. When Jones was coming back and, you know, dodging a couple punches and going up against the fence and then going to the right, and Rampage swung and missed, he needed to chase after him. Once he started backpedaling, go after him and put the force there, and Rampage didn't do that. If he did, he might have won this fight. He could have knocked him out, because Rampage looked really good in this fight. It's just he didn't do what he needed to do, and you know, it's easier for a guy to sit there all day and go, you know, like Rock'em Sock'em Robots, bop bop, throw some long kicks with his freaking Dawson Street Fighter reach, and, you know, hit the guy on the other side of the freaking octagon, than the guy who has to get inside and, you know, do his thing. You know, Rampage just didn't do his thing. Jon Jones looked good. He didn't look as good as he did against Shogun, though. But I mean, that's because he had a strategy. He was trying to minimize the opportunity of him to get hurt in any kind of way. Anyways, I don't want to go on too long, guys. Takeaways from this one: Matt Hughes needs to fight guys, you know, not inside the top 10 anymore if he's going to continue fighting or retire. Koscheck's a prick, always has been a prick. Jon Jones is maybe almost as close of a prick as, you know, Koscheck is. And Rampage, of course, an awesome fighter, one of the best, you know, in light heavyweight of all time. One of the top fighters, you know, mad respect for Rampage. He's funny as hell. Everybody likes Rampage, so Jon Jones dumping him like that, that was not cool, man. I don't like that shit. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. Peace.